Hello, gorgeous women of the Women Masterclass. I'm going to miss that sound. I'm going to miss the intro. I'm going to miss the vibe. Okay, let me have a look at you. Let's have a look at people. So many good-looking people on here today. Okay, so I'm just going to give you a run through of how today is going to go. Today is called Shop With Me. And there's such an important reason for me to do this. I feel like a lot, and I was talking about this actually in my Matrix Mastermind, and I see a bunch of you from the Matrix in here, but a lot of us get into a very awkward position when it's time to sell in our businesses. We're afraid we're going to look pushy. We're afraid we're going to look salesy. We're afraid people don't want to hear about what we have to offer. And I think this is a very big part of entrepreneurship, especially online, knowing how often should I sell? You know, the algorithm's a little weird sometimes. I don't know if people have even seen my stuff. Have they seen it? Have they seen it too much? Do they like it? Are they going to think I'm just trying to sell to them? Are they going to think? Are they going to feel? We get really wrapped up in this. And the fact is, we care a lot about our businesses. We care about our clients. We care about our image, our reputation. There's so many things to care about that sometimes we care so much about everything that we don't do the basic fundamental things we've got to do in order for a business to run, which is actually sell. And I'm all about delivering so much value, and I'm all about, you know, having all kinds of different ways for people to find you and putting world-class content out there. Like, I'm all about that. And also, in order for businesses to thrive, we've got to sell. And it's not easy to not look salesy when you're so worried that you're going to look like you're selling, that you try to look like you're not selling. You're always going to look salesy. Like, that is the definition of salesy, is trying to pretend you're not selling while you're selling. And I think the only reason we've started doing that is because we are apologetic about selling. It's like, okay, I'm sorry, but also I just want to tell you what I'm offering, and I feel bad and I don't want you to feel. And it's like we're missing the actual pleasure of having this opportunity where it's like, let me tell you what's available in my shop, in my store. And I know what you mean. Heather says my sales posts get ghosted a lot. You know, you'll make a reel or a post on social media that's about your cat or your new promotion at work, if you're a traditional work or whatever it is, and it gets all this likes, you get engaged, you know, you have a baby, something, like those posts blow up like crazy. And then you're like, my business. And it's like, where did all my friends go? They're just like, don't sell me anything. So I feel like for us to grow our businesses with this unapologetic energy, it's also important that we have events like this in our businesses where people can just show up and be like, okay, I'm listening. It's not a forcing or an obligation to buy, but it's an understanding that that's what you're here for. And I feel like that changes the energy. And I want to inspire you in your own businesses to give yourself permission to do that, to sell, because ultimately that's what business is. That's what business is. You sell. But doing it from a fun place and doing it in a vibe that just feels like, yes, this is it. This is what we're doing. So the Shop With Me is a very streamlined conversation. I'm going to walk with you through the upcoming programs that are coming up, what's coming in the Alpha Femme world. I am going to talk to you about different offers, some that are live, some that are recorded. So I'm going to give you that information. The Alpha Femme team will be posting links as I'm speaking, so you'll be able to come. The sound is coming in and out. This would help. Oh, you're getting the sound great. It's good for you. Okay, well, I don't know then. So Alpha Femme team will be in the comments giving you links for whatever I'm talking about. And if you just want to relax during the whole thing and then ask for links, you can also do that. So I want to give you an explanation of how I wanted my business to feel online. I want it to feel like I'm here and available to give you all the information that you want and all the information that you need, and that you get to just relax and shop either on the spot when you're excited or in the inbox of the team when you're done. I'm going to give you all the places where you can connect to them. While I'm live, the best way is to either ask in the comments section here or to DM on Messenger, the Alpha Femme team. So if you DM them right now, there's someone in there for you. After that, it can be anywhere on Instagram, anywhere on Facebook, or you can email hello@alphafemme, and there'll be people everywhere. But just while I'm live, here in the comments or in We Are Alpha Femme. is the best way to get someone to send you a link. And then if you have any questions, you're able to get the answers that you need, and I'll stay on a little longer for anyone who has questions for me. Okay. So the first thing that I'm excited to explain to you is that my business has been growing so much in the last few years. And it's really always been for me about, how do I teach everything? How do I really hold a container where there's no question off the table, where people can really dive into all the things, the goddess energy, the badass energy, the boss energy? How can we really contemplate these energies, focus on them, grow them in our lives? Like, what's needed for that? And so when I first started my business, I had a couple of programs. The two first programs I did were Femme Fatale and Exponential Wealth. And in Femme Fatale, I talked about feminine energetics, leadership, manifestation, like all the feminine receiving energies. And then in Exponential Wealth, I talked about money and sales and all the things. Those are the two programs. But they became so big as I refined them, as I ran them live over and over again, that other programs started to pop. And eventually someone said, why not do a whole thing where we can buy all your programs and do them all in a certain amount of time, like a year-long experience with you? And so I ended up creating that. So I'm going to walk you through what the Alpha Femme world looks like now. Keep in mind, every single thing that I do is in alignment with the goddess, the badass, and the boss energy. My goal is that every program brings you back to the boss energy. Every program brings you back to the boss energy. But when you go and you take something like Femme Fatale, which is the first one I'm going to talk to you about, it's going to be segueing in the goddess energy in order to achieve boss status. So none of my programs are supposed to isolate an identity. They're all supposed to bring you back to that grounded, centered wholeness of the boss altogether. So the first program I want to talk to you about is my Femme Fatale program. And that is, if someone were to say to me, what is the one program that you would recommend? If I could only do one, which one would you choose? I would say Femme Fatale. If you enjoyed the woman program, Femme Fatale is a deepening of that. In Femme Fatale, we talk about the understanding of why bonds can be difficult in between women, like like really feeling like you have a friend, a deep friend, without being afraid you're going to be left behind, you know, those sisterhood connections. Also authority, like why we end up doing the whole pedestal thing, or why we put people on pedestals, or why we think we should be on a pedestal, which is more of that like motherhood or authority wound. We talk about that in that program. There's a lot of inner healing journey in Femme Fatale. What's important to know, though, is it's not a trauma healing program. It's an emotional intelligence healing program, which means this is the thing you never knew could be so simple to change, rather than the deep, deep one-on-one trauma support. So you want to make sure what you're coming to this place with is like, I feel, based on what I've learned in women, that if I were to immerse myself in a conversation like this for weeks and really talk about these kind of topics for a prolonged period of time, I would just be a different kind of person. I teach you communication, a communication pattern that is groundbreaking, that's going to change how you communicate with the people in your life and really find a way to put words onto your feelings. I help you figure out how to repurpose or reutilize intense emotions in your body and use them for good. And so instead of feeling bad about bad feelings, either how to really feel those or how to actually repurpose those feelings into something else, because there's a way, any energy that's in our body is ours to do whatever we want with. And so there are ways to change the frequency of an energy in your body. You can change anger into passion. You can change sadness into joy. They're very close to each other. And so Femme Fatale really helps you process your emotions in a way that's like exciting. Like, oh my gosh, this is different than anything I've ever heard before. My intention with this program is it's the womanhood program. That if there were to be an opportunity for us to just fully reclaim that voyage of saying, let me claim my womanhood in the most beautiful way. Let me work through the feelings of guilt around receiving. Let me work on that so I can actually let all the goodness into my life. Intimacy with myself and others, communication, relationships, healing, forgiveness, belonging, putting myself out there, being willing to shine, not being afraid I'm going to outshine other people. And I feel like on the back end of a masterclass like woman, this is going to be absolutely extraordinary.
Now, people ask me a lot if this program would help them with their financial situation. Is it a money program? And so Femme Fatale is not a money program, but it definitely does impact receiving. So if it feels like there's money all around you, like people are just not choosing you, if that's your experience, it's going to help with that. But it's not a program that's about the doing. It's a program about the being. And for me, I truly believe that money is the byproduct of the women we become. I think when we really work on ourselves, our confidence, our presence, our honoring of ourselves, of each other, something starts to happen. The reason I have the brand I have, the company I have, the reason I'm able to help people the way I can right now is because of the Femme Fatale program and how it's been refined year after year after year. This is my greatest body of work. Femme Fatale is $3,333. It's got a minimum of 12 modules right now because I've added some new modules to it, and we're doing something really magical with it this year that I'm excited. But this is something that I want to present to you as a participant. So there's something magic. There's a beautiful experience that I'm creating as part of the Femme Fatale program. So for those of you who are taking it as a second round or third round, I know you're going to be excited about this. What I want to create in this environment is a space of absolute peace and connection for you to constantly be able to come back to yourself over and over and over again. I have a facilitator with me in the program. Her name is Nicole. She's incredible. And she does tapping and breath work and all kinds of healing in there as well for you to process your feelings as they come up during the teachings. And what we're wanting to do is also breakout rooms. So there'll be opportunities if you want a women's circle with other women, there'll be opportunities for you to sit and talk with other women inside this program, which has never been done before. The intention for this is that you bring into your life a new way of being that serves you far beyond this program. This will be the landing space for you to really change things in your life and bring that goddess energy forward. If you've always been good at doing the things, if you do what you've got to do, you're good in that forward energy. But then when it comes time to just feeling like you're enough, being proud of you, loving your life, loving yourself, feeling safe and good in relationships, feeling like you can manage your words, your tone, your way, like if that's the thing that's been missing, this program will take you to a whole other level. And it's my understanding that, you know, when I look back at my life, when I wanted to be successful and I look back, why wasn't it unblocking? I can see that because certain things were not organized for me, like because I hadn't figured out certain things, it would have been a shame for me to be successful then, because I would have broken a lot of the things I would have been given with my inability to have the difficult conversations, with my inability to hold the pressure. Like sometimes it's a lot, the pressure that comes with the success. And if you don't have that grounded goddess energy and the badass takes over everything, you can lose yourself. So I'm really grateful that I have all these trainings because it makes it that my huge pressure and this huge life and everything that I've got is actually manageable with my heart, which is, sometimes I wonder how the heck I do it. And I know it's these energies. I've had women in their 50s, 60s, 70s. The oldest woman I've ever had in this program is 78 years old, and across the board. And I've had young girls, 19, 20s, take this program as well. I've been told across the board that this is like second to marriage and kids, the most beautiful thing that people have ever done. I've had women 78 years old telling me, by the time I needed this information, you weren't even born yet. And I've been waiting my whole life for someone to lead something like this. So thank you. Like this is something so powerful for us. And it's the honor of my life to present it. So if you are able to do a program like this is the kind of thing you choose for you, knowing it will impact everything. This will impact the course of your life. It's as if if you go into this program with all of your heart, life can't be the same again. It just can't. It's like the veil just drops and you just get it all of a sudden. And it's the most beautiful thing. So if you're ready, this is the journey of a lifetime, and it will change everything. Your ability to sit with your discomforts in life, your ability to go through your fears, your ability to be strong and to ask for support when you need it, your ability to receive and connect and be part of something, like it's a magical program. So Alpha Femme team, if you would put the link in the comments, that way if anyone knows already you just want to do it, you can grab that link. If not, if you need more information or if you want a special payment plan or whatever, you can message the Alpha Femme team and they can help you take care of that in the inbox as well. Now, the other program I want to talk to you about is Manifest. And Manifest is the only program right now that I run with Kevin. And I love this program. We've been running it together. We've been adding modules to it. So this is one that's not fully live. You would watch pieces of the puzzle that we've been dropping since like 2019 or no, 2020, I think was our first module, 2020, but we did like 2 versions of it that are added in 2020, live modules in 2021, live modules in 2022. Like there's so many parts of it, and it's the most beautiful program. I love this program so much because it shows different seasons of our life. We really do come in with different kinds of modules based on what we're going through. Then we do these incredible Q&As where you can ask stuff as well. And we're adding new modules on the 15th and the 16th. So it's a great time to do this program. It's lifetime access. And our goal with this program is that you grow old with us. That's what we want. So we'll be adding modules to this forever. So when you purchase the Manifest program, it's $2,222 right now. You have lifetime access to the replays, and any new modules we add, they're just yours. So it's one of those that you purchase and you have with us. Femme Fatale is going to launch on February 19th. February 19th, I do the opening ceremony, and then our first module is on the 20th. And it's not every day. There's space in between the days. It's like there's a call on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday. There's like 3 or 4 calls a week over multiple weeks. So it's a longer process. You have time to integrate. There's going to be healing stuff, breakout rooms. It's really amazing. Femme Fatale is not lifetime access. And the reason it's not lifetime access is because the way that I deliver this changes based on how I'm presenting every single time. It's a real time energy. I don't feel, it's so strange, but with this program, I feel like the connection and me actually being there to deliver it matters just as more as the information. And so on the day where I would be complete with Femme Fatale and I would say, okay, I'm never running this again, then I could do it lifetime access. But I feel like there's always a new level that I want to teach this. So it's not lifetime access, but you will have a full year access to the replays. So you're not going to be stressed to catch up at all. There's a lot of space for you to learn and lean in to that. Okay. And it starts on the 19th. First live module is on the 20th. And then we've got 12 scheduled modules for now. And when you're a participant, I'll then explain what happens after that. But the 12 modules are already ready and the schedule is available for that. Okay, so that's Femme Fatale and Manifest. So Manifest, we're going to add 1 live module, 1 Q&A on the 15th or on the 16th and 17th of February. So tomorrow and the day after. And then we're going to do some more in the summer. Like we like to add a couple of modules here and there and keep adding to it and answer your questions. So I love that one. Now, because it's Valentine's Day energy, I figured Manifest and Femme Fatale would make a really great combination. So what I've decided to do is a bundle where you get Femme Fatale and Manifest. And then I've added a masterclass that I did in the past called Magic on Legs. I love this masterclass. It's actually a big favorite from a lot of people who took it. There's a module in there that's worth the entire thing. Like the Ice Queen module in there is worth the entire thing. And there may be a time where I take Magic on Legs down entirely and or take that module out and put it into Femme Fatale because it's such a good module. But what's cool, when you buy Magic on Legs, that one's only $555. It's 5 modules. When you buy Magic on Legs, that one is lifetime access. So you would always have access to the replay. But what I'm doing with this one for you is when you buy it, whenever I do re-record Magic on Legs, and you'll get the new updated version as well. So if you just wanted to buy Magic on Legs on its own, you'd get an older version of me. It's a chicken nugget version of Melanie, but it's actually one of the favorites. Even now, when people watch it back, they're like, oh my gosh, it's one of my favorites. And when I re-record it live, you'll get free access to the live recordings and the lifetime access to that as well. So the bundle that I've made is Femme Fatale, Manifest, and Magic on Legs, all 3. They're worth $6,000 altogether, and instead it's $4,888. You can either pay in full. If you pay in full, you get a gift, Valentine's Day gift from me. You either get a crystal water bottle, a trio of notebooks, or a Magic on Legs sweater with a notebook. If you pay in installments, the beauty is that you don't have an added amount to the payment plan. So when you take a payment plan in my world, it always costs more than the one-time payments, because I've got to have my team constantly checking and making sure all the payments are coming in. So one-time payments take a lot less energy for my team. So if you pay in full, you get the gift. And if you pay in installments for this specific bundle, there's no difference between the paid and full price and the installment price. So if you're interested in that, that's a really great bundle, and it'll take us into a beautiful energy of receiving and magic and connection and love and relationships. Like, it's a really awesome bundle. So if you're available for that, that's a great place to start with me, this bundle. If one of those programs on its own feels good for you, you can also ask for those links. So if the Alpha Femme team would put Manifest, Magic on Legs, and Femme Fatale in the comments, if you want the bundle, it's a DM only offer, so there's no link. You'll message the Alpha Femme team, let them know if you want to pay in full and you choose your gift, they'll send you a customized link, or if you want to pay in installments, and they'll help you create a payment plan for you that works, and they'll give you a payment plan link. So just make sure to message them if that's something you want to do. So that is like the goddess energy, magical energy. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is a very different vibe. And this definitely has the whole boss vibe energy. And this is the coach program. Now, just to be clear, Femme Fatale is going to run for a few weeks. If you jump in late, it's okay. You'll still have 1 year access to the replays. So you jump in when you feel good. Manifest is lifetime access. You can buy it at any time. It's just fun to get to jump in when we're doing a live module. So if now's a good time for you, that's perfect. And Magic on Legs is lifetime access, and it's always available to buy. So on their own, there's no time limit. Just the bundle was 72 hours from when I posted it last night at like 4 o'clock, I think. So 4 o'clock, 72 hours. So not today, 4, not tomorrow, 4, the day after, 4 o'clock. That's when the bundle will expire. So that's the only thing I'm going to talk to you about today that has a time limit, is that one bundle. And I do want to say, if you decide to buy that bundle and later on upgrade to a longer term thing with me, like the Alpha Femme experience, when I talk about it, you can always upgrade. So it's a good entry point as well. If you're not 100% sure you're ready for the whole year with me, but you want to try something and you're like, if this I like, I can upgrade. That's also a beautiful thing that you can do. So you can ask the Alpha Femme team about that if it's something you want to do. What's important for me to tell you is that my team is very hands-on for so many reasons. I know what it feels like on the internet to shop for stuff and to not really 100% know like what's the right thing, what do I buy? Sales pages don't do it for me at all. And so even if I read a sales page, I tend to not really get the frequency or the vibe of this is right for me or not. So I love to sell on these shop with me's because I feel like you get the inkling, like this is right for me. And then you can feel into it. And then you can go message the Alpha Femme team and they'll give you the links that you need. So don't overthink it or worry about bothering anybody. Like, that's what we're there for. When you need a link, you just message the team and they take care of you. And it's our pleasure. I'll also add them to the team or to the Women Masterclass group. So it is easy for you to go get those links if you don't feel like messaging anyone, but if you want to, we're available. So the difference between Femme Fatale and Magic on Legs. Magic on Legs is a masterclass. It's a 5-day masterclass that's very much about magnetism. And Femme Fatale is so much deeper than magnetism. It's like if the magnetism is too big of a concept right now, where you're like, my problem is not that I'm not magnetic. My problem is like I'm even scared to be magnetic. Like I don't even feel safe to be that. Like there's a part of me every time I imagine myself going for it, there's this other part of me that's like, oh my God. Like it's the underneath all of it. It's like when you think of what a woman can be in the depths of the knowing of your soul, like this is what it's supposed to be. Why isn't it that? Like that's Femme Fatale. Whereas Magic on Legs is more of the like sassy powerhouse magnetism, magic, juju, and it's 5 days. And when you do Magic on Legs, it tends to redirect you back to Femme Fatale. You'll do it and then you'll be like, okay, next time she does Femme Fatale, I'll want to do it. So it'll deepen the concepts we talked about in women, and it'll probably bring you closer to Femme Fatale, whereas Femme Fatale is Femme Fatale. That's probably my best description of how they are different. And the price point. Femme Fatale is $3,333, Magic on Legs $555. So the price point also makes a difference. And I do want you also to know, for me, the amount of value I give is not, it's not about the price. Like what I gave in women, I could have just created a paid program for this. I will give you value anytime you choose to give me your time. So whether you're choosing a smaller offer at a lower price point, you're still going to get the same amount of dedication from me. You're not getting a version of me that thinks, oh, this is not expensive. I give everything I've got every time I turn on that camera. So it doesn't matter what the price point is, you're not getting a lesser version of me. Is there a way to get the schedule for Femme Fatale before purchasing? Yes. You can ask the team for it. And then how long is the Femme Fatale program? So you have 1 year access to it, and the 12 first modules are scheduled, and then the rest I'm going to explain inside the program. But usually it was 10 modules. It used to be 10 modules over 21 days. And there's an adaptation this year, which I'm very excited about. Okay. I would like to see the schedule too, please. Yeah. If you message the Alpha Femme team, this is not something that we're going to make public, but if you're like, if the schedule works for me, I'm doing this program, you can message the Alpha Femme team. One thing I would really want you to consider though in this is that it's not even about making every single call live. And so if you need to book some and watch the rest on replay, I always think to myself in the program, if it's possible, to have at least so everyone can watch 2 or 3 live. I don't ever imagine that people will watch all of them live, although we do tend to have people who are like, it's 4 o'clock in the morning where I am and I'm here. But my idea is that you're able to watch, 2 or 3, 4 live, and the other ones you catch on the replay. So as long as you can catch 3 or 4 live and reschedule the others, you'll still be in the flow of the program. And if you want to go all out and go, you can also, wake up at whatever time you want to make it, but there's no obligation to do that. What's more important for me is that people from all around the world can tune in at some point or the other. So if you've got specific questions like the schedule, you would ask the Alpha Femme team. And the bundle, remember the bundle we're not posting here. The bundle is a DM only offer. So make sure if you need information about the bundle that you DM the Alpha Femme team. Okay, so this next program changes the energy. Now we're going into a different vibe, and this is the coach program. The coach program is, for me, one of the most beautiful gifts that I offer back to the internet. Because I do believe that there's a lot of certifications out there, and there's a lot of like cerebral, technical, logical, step-by-step things out there available for a lot of the cerebral, step-by-step people. But when it comes to like the energy of being a coach, like how do I sit with these conversations? Like how do we plan? I'm not a person that's all like organized like that. I know I'm good at what I do, but like how do I package these things? How do I know what's a mastermind? What's a group program? I want more of an all-encompassing conversation with someone who's taken a coaching business. Like I started my coaching company charging $100 an hour, and I've built it to a multi-million-dollar company. Like, what does that look like? How do I get to 6 figures, multiple 6 figures? What can I add? If that's the kind of conversation you'd like to be in, to talk about standards, boundaries, conversations that might be difficult with your clients, people who might want to break agreements, people who might want to, if you want to talk about the actual experience of being a coach and how to become the best possible coach that you can be without fast forwarding and skipping steps and thinking you've got to go coach coaches right away, because that's not it. Usually by the time you're coaching coaches, you're a mentor. So the coach is a person who has something in specific, like something specific they want to teach to the world. And then beyond that, there's mentorship. Like we're going to really touch all of these areas. It's an all-encompassing program. It's going to last almost 60 days. There's a lot of modules in it, but this is lifetime access again. Now, this program is $5,555, and I'm going to tell you how to figure out if this program is for you, because I know it's a big investment, $5,555. This is what you've got to tell yourself. If I understand how I can make $5,555 in a coaching business, like if I have a conception of how I can make that money back somehow in the first year, there's no question. This will make you better at your work. Like that's the beautiful thing about it. It'll give you more confidence. It's something you'll be able to reopen the modules later and be like, okay, I'm having this thing come up with a client. I'm going to go re-listen to that module. It'll always be with you during your journey. It will make you a better coach. And I don't know that there's anything more important as a coach than being the best coach you can be, because the greatest way for this to work is word of mouth. It's testimonials. It's clients saying that your work made a difference for them. There's no amount of marketing that will be better than people actually having transformation in their work. So you becoming a better coach, there's nothing better to invest in as a coach than becoming the greatest possible coach that you can be, because word of mouth will always pay you more than any other thing anyway. Unless you're a digital marketer, a content creator with digital marketing, and then you have a huge funnel and you run ads, then we can talk about marketing strategies and things like that. But when you're a coach and you're really wanting to get started on that, like scaling to multiple six figures, this coach program is absolutely spectacular. It's so, so, so brilliant. And it's going to support you throughout your career. So if you're in your head, like, I don't even know how I would even make $5,555 at all. I don't even know how I would start. It's possible this program will be a little ahead for you. You'll be like, I don't even know how to do anything. I don't even know how to get on a one-on-one call. It might be a little advanced. But if you're willing to sit in a room that's a little advanced, you would just calibrate at warp speed. If you're willing to not understand for a minute, but if you know you panic when you don't understand, it would not be the best place to start. So you got to gauge yourself. What I love about this, again, is that it's live with me. I'm there with you to deliver something that is full and complete and well-rounded, something that really gives you the greatest experience as a coach and that gives your clients the greatest experience. What I've been proud of my whole career is that not only do I help people create extraordinary results, I help them make sure their clients have extraordinary results. Like at the beginning, when I was being tagged and stuff, I'd always celebrate grandbaby clients, like celebrating my grandbaby clients, because there's something about the coach that gets it, that's able to help her clients, and people celebrating all kinds of different results, whether it's like their marriage turned around, their confidence skyrockets, whether it's their financial situation that changes or their health that gets remodeled, or whatever it is that you're a coach for, those results are what matter the most. And so this program is to support you as a coach. That's the premise of the program. It's not a one-on-one program. So all the programs I'm talking to you about right now are group experiences. However, there is going to be opportunities in that to be supported more. So there will be people that are available to answer questions. There'll be breakout rooms again in the coach program. We're making sure that you're going to be able to get questions asked and that it's not just me talking at you. There will be a lot of Q&As. There will be a lot of support. There will be opportunities to sit with other coaches and talk and ask questions. It will be a very well-rounded experience, and you'll have lifetime access to the replays. So that's the coach program. And if I ever added extra modules, you would always have it. Let's see. So the coach program starts in April, if I'm not. Is that correct? Kevin can probably help me with that. So the coach program is for coaching mid-April. Okay, I got it. Mid-April. So the coach program is for coaching. Mentorship is usually when you've already achieved the result and you're helping people based on your results. So you can be a coach even though you haven't had the experience yourself. You can go to school and learn something and teach someone what you learned without ever having done it. You're allowed to do that. You can be a coach or a consultant where you learn the concepts of how to do a thing and you teach a person how to do a thing. You can be an accountability coach. There's so many different kinds of coaches, but by the time you say that you're a mentor, the mentor is the one that's like, I've done it. And so you walk with me to hear, how did you handle this? And what's the behind the scenes? So those are the different conversations. One is a more teaching and the other one is more of a collaboration, a co-creation, a conversation that's based on more so the client than the coach, because it's like, I'm going through this difficult thing in my business. Have you ever been through this? Mentor's like, but of course, here's how we did. Here's how we walked through, as opposed to, this is the thing I'm trying to create. How do I do it? And brainstorming what's best for you. Mentorship is more lived experience and conversational. So those are the differences. There won't be I don't know if I'm going to be running a mentor this year. It doesn't look like it in the schedule unless I go wild and decide to like over my schedule. This year it's coach that's running. The next, so this one is a big program. Would you consider yourself a mentor? I'm both. I'm both, because I do coach and I teach and I explain, and I've got these curriculums and these programs that are well thought out already where I'm going to deliver content. That's a very coach thing to do. And then I also have masterminds where it's like, you show up, you tell me what you need, and I'll show up for you. And that's the mentorship, where people have to learn to ask good questions. They need to be self-led. They need to know. If I showed up in a program and I was like, okay, what are your questions? You're like, what? Thought you were going to teach us about social media. But mentorship is usually that way. Like, what would you like to know? Whereas coaching is, here's the program. And then I like to offer Q&A and opportunity for people to get refinement questions. But I tend to lead my programs in the coaching energy. Even when I started my career, I had a curriculum. I used to say like, okay, when you join one-on-one coaching with me, we're going to talk about confidence. We're going to talk about this, da, da, da. So there was all these topics. And so every call I'd say, let's talk about this topic. I would lead the topic And then we would coach based on that thing, or they would tell me in the consultation what they were looking for. And I'd create a curriculum based on that. First call, second call, there was more of a structure. I was the coach. I was the game plan. I was the one with a bit more of the structure. Mentorship energy is more like, well, I've done it. I've embodied it. I'm the proof of my own concept here. And so you hire me in order to understand what I know, where you're leading the conversation more. So mentor would be pre-recorded from 2022. Exactly. So mentor is 7,777, but it includes coach. So you get both. Mid-April is meant to be my birthday. Any bundles with the coach or any other thing you recommend that aligns? So I'll tell you what I like with coach is I've got then the buyer and Impact Academy. Impact Academy is such an incredible program because it gives you a better understanding of social media and the energetics of social media. I'm not a big mind strategy person. I'm an energetic strategy person. So what that means is finding ways for different energy types and people to really get behind loving and doing a certain thing. Instead of pushing people to do things they hate so that they can become or do a certain thing, I love to position things in a way where it's like, I can get behind that. That's exciting for me. That feels fun. I get the energy. I get the vibe. I can see why people do this now. I like it. I love to create these kinds of conversations so we're not fighting against ourselves to do things that work well for us. We're more so embracing the vibe, embracing the challenge, playing with that badass energy, working with the goddess of like, I'm afraid to be seen. So the Impact Academy program is a program that's all about social media and how to actually put yourself out there for you to get the kind of visibility that you required in your business to be an energetic match for your business. So I do teach visibility if you want to go be big and seen and viral, that kind of energy, but more so, how do you get paid on the internet? How do you actually position yourself as someone where it doesn't really matter how many likes you're getting, as long as the people who are liking and the people who are buying, that ratio is working for you. And so for me, I've built my entire business with social media. I didn't have any lead capture, no website, no email list, no funnel. Like I built this entire thing just with social media, Instagram and Facebook. That's it. We've just started with LinkedIn a few months ago, but it's brand new. If not, it was Facebook and Instagram. Our company's in over $60 million since 2020 with only talking to people. And it's been such a liberating thing to be like, there's no big complicated thing. It's based on what I love, what I like, what's real for me, what's true for me. And it happened step by step. I didn't go from zero to this, but there was like an understanding of the energetics, and I teach all of that in Impact Academy. So I really love that one because together with coach, you understand how to become a better coach, you understand how to utilize social media. Those go well together. And I would love to see what the Trademark bundle was. Kevin, do you mind just reminding me? Because that was a really good bundle and I wouldn't mind reopening it if that's what people wanted to do. We can look it up for you guys, but that was like coach. I don't think I have the buyer in the schedule for this year, but the buyer is incredible. It's like understanding from not the seller's point of view, but the buyer's point of view. Like, have you noticed in your life, there's times you'll walk into a store, you'll want to buy everything. There's other times you walk into a store, someone says something and you walk right out. Like that means we're in charge. There's not much the person can do once you're a no to keep you in the store. Like it's no. And the more you're talking to me, I want to leave. And the other one is just like, I want to buy everything. And I'd love for you to just show me this and show me that and show me this. And so the buyer program really encourages the buyer experience over the seller experience, which I think is very refreshing because everybody's trying to become good at sales. And if we don't like sales, then we feel like we're doomed, but we're not. There's another way. And it's the buyer paradigm. It's focusing your entire experience on the shopper instead of on yourself, which is actually very cool. And if not, I have this 1,111 program that I really love that's called Cash. It was actually an invisible offer that I did that became the Cash program. And it's basically the aligned sequence to vibrational, like energetic wealth. So you can understand how to sell this way. And you'll understand it's like a sequence, CASH, but you understand the vibe behind it, and it's really good. That one's 1,111, very manageable for price point, and it's very, very good.
I have the trademark.
Tell me what the trademark bundle was.
Impact Academy, mentor, coach, Protege Masterclass, cash, buyer, and Narrateur for 10 days.
Oh, that was a really good bundle. Okay, so say them again, and I'll reiterate.
Impact Academy,
So Impact Academy, which is the social media one. The mentor, what? Okay, so this year it won't be the mentor. It'll be because we're doing coach live. So there won't be the mentor, but coach.
Protege Masterclass,
Protege Masterclass replay, cash, buyer. I think we're only doing replays of that one this year, but that's okay. But because there's so many replays, you know what? I'm okay. Mentor as well. Holy pickles, this is a bundle. And my storytelling thing. That's 444. That's a 10K bundle. That's insane because just mentor and coach on their own would be 7777. So that's like the deal of the century. So if we can open this trademark until the woman closes, so we'll give that one 2 weeks because it's big and it's not really in the direction we're going. So if you want to think about that one, you need information, message the Alpha Femme team, but that's a whopper of a bundle. Which of your business courses do you recommend that's not for coaches? So if you want social media, it would be Impact Academy, Cash, the buyer. These are not just for coaches. They're also for businesses. So it depends what you want to focus on. Selling, the energetics, money. Where do you want to start in your business? Trademark is 10K. Yeah. Okay. So when we move through the social media, the buying, the selling, all that kind of energy, the next thing that I talk about a lot is leadership. And so this was Femme Fatale that was like split in half between leadership, like in external feminine energetics and internal feminine energetics. That one's also not going to run live this year, but the replays are going to be available. And so that one is Alpha to Alpha, and it's out of this world. Our last round of this was the single best round I have ever done. It is out of this world. And so you can buy the replays of that one. And that one is really amazing. So what's the difference between Alpha to Alpha and Femme Fatale? Femme Fatale is the inner game, like she who leads herself. And Alpha to Alpha is she who leads herself so she can lead the world. They go very well together. We do have a Femme Fatale Alpha to Alpha bundle somewhere also. So I can post, I'll probably do a bundle list so you can look at all the bundles that are available, except for the 72-hour one, because I don't want to have to take it down since it expires so fast. That one you'll have to message, but I'll make sure to put that out there. I think a big part of where we get stuck when we're leading and when we're wanting to make money and where we're wanting to do our best work on this planet, where we often get stuck, is that we don't want to look pushy, bossy. We don't want to look like we're bullying people, prodding people, pushing people, but that's not what leadership is. And feminine energy leadership is like magic. It feels like you're drawn. It's like, I got it. I feel it. I'm walking with you. You don't need to push me. You don't need to pull me. You don't need to beg me. You don't need to manipulate me. Like, just walk and I'll follow you. If it feels like you're walking in a place I want to go, if you're someone I trust, I'll just walk with you. And there's something so powerful about not needing evidence that people are walking with us and actually just walking. How much is Alpha to Alpha on its own? And how much is the bundle, Kevin, when you have a second? So what we really want to do here is create an energy in our world where it's like, I'm going to go where I've got to go because I trust. I'm going to trust. And as I go and as you see that where I'm going works and where I'm walking is a beautiful place, the more I do this, the more there's this extraordinary compound effect that starts to occur. And people are like, I want to walk where all these people are walking. And I don't need to be pushed and pulled. What I love about Alpha to Alpha, it's leaders leading leaders. So it's a concept called compounded leadership. A lot of leadership is taught like how to lead a follower. But what we're doing here is not how to lead a follower. It's how to lead a leader. And that is a whole other ballgame. Equal power, but different, shoulder to shoulder. If you're interested in becoming a mentor, a coach for people who are successful and you don't understand feminine energy leadership, there's so many breakdowns in mentor-mentee relationships, coach-client relationships, where there's like this one tyrant leader that says, you've got to do it my way or you're going to fail. And the one person who's blind doesn't see their power and just follows blindly until one day they realize they're powerful. And they're like, what was I doing following someone else as if they knew better than me? Like who's had this experience in your life, like following a mentor or a coach blindly that was like, I know what you've got to do. And you were like, okay. And then one day you were like, wait, no, that's not me at all. So what we're doing with shoulder to shoulder is realizing that we're actually geniuses. And when we start leading each other that way, we actually pop a lot faster. Because in the old paradigm, one person has to be pushed so the other one can rise. It's this like, some people stay low, so they'll keep hiring the person that's high. In the paradigm I'm reshaping, it's like we're all walking towards this big vision, and it doesn't serve anybody for anybody to be lessened in order to move. We all need to rise in order to move. So we need our own thinking, our own way, our unique voice, shoulder to shoulder. We stand together. We can be in a room together. We're not putting each other on a pedestal. We're not tearing each other apart. We're actually supporting each other. Like, I know it can be idealistic, but for the women who get this, it's just it. You know, when you're not quite at that place yet where that feels safe, it's not ready yet, and it's okay. This is like one of those bandwidth conversations, but there does occur a time in your life when you've done enough of this work where you're like, I totally get it. And I can recognize when a person is talking to me like, here's what you need because you're struggling and I'm not, and I'm great, and I'm going to help you not struggle because it's going to be very hard to be you. So let me just help you. You know, like there's a difference between that and like, we're going here, we've got this. We've both got this respect, this honor, this walking together. And alpha to alpha helps you have the courage to trust in people's power, because it is scary. Like, what if I trust in their power and then they disappoint me? I know it's a big deal, but it's a game changer.
Alpha, alpha, 333.
So alpha to alpha is 3333, same price as Femme Fatale.
Really good deal. I think.
And the bundle, if you did alpha to alpha and Femme Fatale, would be 5555. And it includes all the rage. Oh, actually, the coach program also includes all the rage. So that 10K bundle also includes all the rage. We're on fire with the bundles. When I add bonuses, when I add the little master classes inside, the fun thing about those little master classes is they're bridges. So whenever I create a master class, I'm always thinking to myself, how do I go from this big conversation to this big conversation? How do I go from coaching to social media? How do I go from social media to selling? How do I go from planning a new year to the womanhood program? And then the masterclass I build is the bridge. So whenever I'm selling a masterclass, it's like, oh, this was the bridge between this and this program. They're like bonus conversations. You can listen to them, you know, fast, binge listen to them. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Like, they're just energetic hits. They're very good. They're very powerful. They could be modules and programs, but I decide to make them smaller and more bite-sized. They make great bonuses. So whenever there's bonuses, don't overthink them. They're just amazing bridges where they will hold two different conversations bridged together. Let's see. I was turned off completely and left and found you. I completely understand, because I've created a lot of my business based on my learnings, and you will build your businesses based on your learnings, whatever your businesses are about. You'll always find what works and what doesn't work for you. I've never felt more seen, more empowered than I've been in AFE for a year now, Matrix. I'm so happy. Will Avant-Garde ever be re-released? I want to redo Avant-Garde, because that's one of those that I know the content was excellent. But when I really check in with myself, I brought myself to that masterclass. I was going through a storm and it's not clean. There's a little bit of my pain in it, and I want to be careful with it. It's not squeaky clean. The shoulder to shoulder is called alpha to alpha. I'm so happy, Eliane. That's awesome. Yeah, I also love these shop with me's, even if it's just for you to come spy and be like, gosh, it gets to be, I have permission to just sit there and talk about all my offers and people are going to listen to me. This is incredible. Like, we also need to, this is the other thing. Someone in my matrix asked me, she was like, how do you not cut the price of things all the time, or put, you know, low cost that the price changes in this much time and this much time? I really also want to normalize for us that our work doesn't need to be discounted or wearing a leather thong in order to be good enough. You know, you don't need to make it, look, this is the offer. It's got bells, it's got whistles, it's naked, it'll whip you if you're nice. It gives you this and that, and you can have all of this if you buy it now. But if you don't buy it today, it all goes away and then it's boring. So buy it now while it's important. Like, I want it to feel like I can buy it today and I can buy it tomorrow and it's still worth it, because it's the actual program that I'm buying. I don't need you to cut the price and change the thing and make it. It's like, I want to learn the thing that's in it. So for those of you who are coaches and mentors, I'm sure you'll understand this. It's like, I want people to want I want them to want the thing, not because the price is changing, and not because, oh, if I don't buy it now. Like, I want you to want the actual learning. And sometimes if you fluff it up too much, people buy from that heightened state and they're not even there for the material, and we're not changing. I can tell you the reason I am where I am in my business is because of the testimonials, the results, in the people whose lives have changed through this work. That's why I'm here right now. It's because of the work that has worked for everybody. If it wouldn't have worked so well, it would have fizzled out. You know, you can't just sell nothing. It's got to work. And so I've always preferred people that enter my containers to be ready for what they want to learn, not excited by a badge like, oh, I'm cool, I bought this, but more like I'm ready and I'm doing this, and who they become in their readiness. That's always mattered so much more to me. I'm loving this, never seen this done before, and so appreciate you talking about all your offers. All their age was such a blessing as I experienced a miscarriage, and that same day I jumped in of one of those live sessions, and it was so healing. Oh my gosh, that is huge. I'm so touched about all the offers you have, also from different prices. Actually, I can't afford much financially, but in the process too, and the offers I can afford are your free masterclasses, and they're so valuable for me, and they changed my life. I'm happy. The goal is that everyone that comes can find something that works. That's the beauty. And you just ask yourself, like, what's my next learning curve? Where's my next stretch? Where do I choose to focus now? And it could be like, I know I've got to focus on everything. I've watched women and I feel like I need to focus on everything. Sometimes like, no, it's feminine energetic. Sometimes no, it's badass energy. Or it's like, I want to be able to do this, what Melanie's doing. I want to be able to talk like this and own myself like this. Like there's different parts, or it's like, no, I need all of it. I would have needed this masterclass every day of my life. I would have needed this to never stop. I want the whole conversation. I want all of it. That's also possible. So I'll just keep talking for now. Alpha to alpha. Okay, then another amazing program is Exponential Wealth. And this one also is available on replays. Exponential Wealth has been revolutionary, I think, as a money conversation for women, because I think it's the feminine energy conversation about money that we just needed to have in order to bypass all the guilt that we're not allowed to have it. Exponential Wealth is the one where you actually allow it and you say, okay, come to mama. Come, I'm open. Let's do it. 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 Like I'm in, let's make it. Let's make money like clouds make rain. Like I'm in, let's just do it. Like I'm open to receive. I'm no longer blocking this. I deserve it. I deserve it. And worst thing, so much money will come to me, more than I ever needed. And then I'll give it to any charity or any, thing that I want. I'm just not going to limit the receiving before I have it, because I don't need that much and I don't deserve it. Like I deserve all of it. Send it all my way. And then once I have it, I'll decide where I want to give it, because money in my hands is good for the world. So let's make money like clouds make rain. And if I don't want to keep it all, I will gladly give it away. I will find all the places that deserve it and I'll give it there, but I will be the path of least resistance for money in my life. And I will change my financial legacy for me and for my family. Someone in our family has to change the financial path. Might as well be us. So why not? Why let it go another round of people? Like, let's reclaim that. Let's change the game. Let's turn it around. And it's like this beautiful experience of wealth, but in a deep, meaningful way. When you add meaning, everything's easier. Everything you add meaning to in your life opens up your heart, opens up your receiving. So it's a money conversation that's meant to help you completely just break down the resistance barriers so that you can not self-sabotage just because of money stuff. Then all the other stuff that I teach lands so much more, because you're not like, yeah. Like when you stop being ashamed of the money stuff, selling becomes so much easier. When you're not so ashamed of the money stuff, showing yourself and showing up on social media seems so much more effortless. When you're not so stuck about the money stuff, being in relationship with people who are more successful or less successful than you stops being murky. It's quite a spectacular experience. And I actually got very solid experiences for myself when this program landed. It was one of the coolest experiences I ever had in program creation. It was like a deep channeled experience for like 4 hours, 4 times, or 3 hours, 4 times. And so I lead the program now in 3-hour chunks, 4 chunks of 3 hours, and it flies by. Each chunk flies by. But I deliver it as I downloaded it, and it just keeps getting refined. So I get to fit more and more into those hours every time, but it's a masterpiece. So Exponential Wealth right now is how much? And we also have a Femme Fatale Exponential Wealth bundle. We'll put that up there as well. Kevin's going to find it for us. Let's make money like clouds make rain. Thank you for the links. Do you also have prices of each at hand? So we've got a link up here to Exponential Wealth, a link of cash. We'll put all of the links in the Women Masterclass. And if there's anything that you already want, you can message the Alpha Femme team also. So these are like the big the big programs. Come January, there's also Resolution Revolution. This one's so much fun. It's the one where we plan our year together. Oh, Kevin. Okay, so Exponential Wealth is 4,444. So Mentor is my most expensive at 7,777, and it includes the coach program. Then Mentor at 5,555. That one's lifetime access. Exponential Wealth is 1 year access, but it's 4,444. It's not lifetime access. And then 3333 for Femme Fatale, for Alpha to Alpha, and then 2222 for Manifest. And obviously you'll get the links you need. They'll give you the information also in the back. I will talk about my mastermind in a moment. What's the difference between cash and exponential wealth? Cash is like a 4 or 5 module masterclass that will make you want to talk more about money with me. It's going to open certain things, but cash is like the bridge between energetic aligned selling, like the buyer and exponential wealth, for example. So if you were to do a bridge between the buyer and exponential wealth, you'd get cash. So it's a very unique conversation. I could have broken it down and added modules in each one, but I created this one really amazing experience. So if you want to start there and say, look, I can't do any of the big ones yet, but let me start with the bridges, because the bridges are so eye-opening, and I could do them as paid big programs, or added them to modules in the paid programs. But instead, I love creating these bridges that give you opportunities to plug in at different levels, which is fun. The coaching program, I don't know if you're just hopping on, Melanie. I did talk about the coaching program already, so maybe on the replay, because I did talk about that one already. I want to keep a second to talk about Revolution, Midyear Manifesto in a moment. It's my pleasure. And then there's another one, but this one is unique to the Alpha Femme experience, and it's called Me, the Manifestation Equation. And that program is out of this world, but it's AFE only. The bandwidth required for that program is kind of next level. So once you've done all the work with me, when I talk to you about this, is as if I'm going to show you an alternate universe. Like all of a sudden I'll split the sky and I'll be like, what? But if I were to try to say that now, most people would be like, Melanie Layer is clinically insane. That's what would happen if I tried to deliver it before the bandwidth. And so it does require some massaging in other areas before we land this, but it's one of those like, oh my gosh, it just opens your world to a whole other level. It's really an amazing program. So the badass programs in my world, the ones that are like badass energy and that lead with badass energy, are Resolution, Revolution, and Midyear Manifesto. And why I think these programs are so important is, like I explained in this masterclass, the idea of having a container that holds the energy for the feminine energy to fly and to play. And so Resolution, Revolution is like, let's plan a year. Let's create the energy behind it. Make your moves. What do you want to do? Secure these goals. Decide what you want to do. Understand the energy behind them. We really secure an incredible plan of action for a year. And Midyear Manifesto is the middle touch point where we're like, okay, how far do we come? What do we still care about? What are we letting go of? What do we continue? So that's a really cool duo as well, this Resolution, Revolution, and Midyear Manifesto, because it holds the energy of your entire year together. So Manifestation Equation is the manifestation program. It's like quantum field. And I have limited, I'm going to tell you this, I have limited my conversations about the quantum field because people misutilize my work a lot when I talk about quantum stuff. So there's things that I feel like I can talk about freely, and there's things where I'm like, you guys are going to take this all out of context and you're going to go do all kinds of crazy things, and then no, we can't do that. So you can't buy Manifestation Equation on its own. It's not possible. Manifestation Equation is only part of the Alpha Femme experience. It's the only program that's AFE only at this time. It's a masterpiece, but it needs context. It needs a lot of context. So that's why I do it this way. Oh my God, I'm happy you're here. Okay, so what was the thing I was saying? I'm in the process of earning the money for AFE. That is very exciting. Will AFE this year include the pre-recorded programs with a live component with you? Yes. Let me bundle this up and then I'll talk about AFE, and then we'll wrap it up. So if you think about badass programs, we're talking about Resolution, Revolution in January. We're talking about Midyear Manifesto in the summer. This creates the container, then back to Resolution, Revolution the next January. This is really anchoring you in. Then we're thinking feminine energetics. We've got Femme Fatale, we've got Alpha to Alpha. These are the very feminine energy and manifestation equation, which is a lot of trust, surrender, feminine energetics in manifestation equation. Although all roads lead back to Rome, meaning even though the badass program of Revolution and Midyear Manifesto are badass frequencies, the goal is to add the badass so you can make it back to the boss. So even then they come back to the boss with the feminine leadership, the inner work, you go back to the boss. It all comes back to the boss. And then the fully integrated, where we're talking boss energy, we're talking about Impact Academy, be a boss with your social media. We're talking the buyer, be a boss with your selling program, with your selling process. Cash, be a boss with the energetics. Exponential Wealth, be a boss with money. These are all like all the energies. We're talking badass, goddess, boss, very clearly in those. So the majority of the programs are very balanced. And then you've got the two in each side that are a little more forward, feminine energy and badass energy that come together. And that gives you all the programs in the Alpha Femme brand. Then there's all kinds of masterclasses that you can do. And these are all the bridges we talked about. So I have an invested masterclass that talks about how to get behind the energy of investing. Money, a journey beyond delusion. These are all past versions of Melanie Anlayer, but where I talk about the illusions of money. This one's actually a really fun one. It's a funny one. If you want to get yourself out of your head and laugh about money and see how silly we are, like I get a lot of people love the money masterclass. The prosperity codes, 3 codes, they're each $222 or for $555, you get all 3 codes. These are fan favorites. These are like top favorites. 3 downloads about money that I have that are so incredible. Calibration keys, which are more the energetics of manifestation. Those are really amazing. What other masterclasses we have? Season of Legends. So Season of Legends is kind of like Impact Academy meets Alpha to Alpha, leadership and social media kind of vibes. So we have a bunch of little masterclasses, and I'll gladly talk about these and post them inside the group over the next 2 weeks to make sure that you're getting information on everything. But this at least gets your mind percolating, and if you know what you need, you'll be able to reach out and ask. But there are little conversations that you can jump into as well. Now, if you listen to all what I'm telling you and you're feeling inside is like, Melanie, I know exactly what I need. Like, I need to just do this. This is really just, it's a question of, I need to be plugged in this energy. I know what this does for me. I get it. I get the vibe. I don't see how I could just go back to being either alone in my business or not in a group of women. Like this is it now. Like you've opened the door. This is what I want. These are the conversations I want to have. I want to be able to plug into conversations like this every day. I don't want to have to think about it. I don't want to have to worry about it. I just want to do this work with you. Like, what do you have where I can get everything? My Alpha Femme experience, in my opinion, based on the way I am, based on the way I teach, based on the way I think, is the greatest offer on the internet. If it was possible for me to make it better, I would. I honestly believe this is the greatest possible thing because it's everything. The community is out of this world. The people that you're going to meet are absolutely outstanding. If you learn, if you actually embody the work, if you put yourself in the room, if you show up, you will leave with more friends, more connections. It's like the holy grail of womanhood, this program. I'm completely obsessed because it's a whole year, which means we're going to go through all of it. We're going to talk about money. We're going to talk about leadership. We're going to talk about feminine energy. We're going to talk about badass, all the things, all the programs. And on top of that, every month, at least once, I go live in that group. We do Q&A and I connect with you. You can ask me questions and I can like connect with you as well inside of the Alpha Femme group. And that's new to this year that we're doing that. And I'm so excited to be adding that component because it feels like we get to do all the programs together and then we get to sneak into our group and be like, okay, what do we need? And it's on the back end of this woman masterclass. I can't imagine what the AFE is going to become. This is the place for growth. It's the place where you say, this is my home for my experience of my growth for me. I'm doing this for me. The learning is out of this world. I will give you the best of me every masterclass, every program. You'll never have to wonder if a program is a part of it, unless it's literally more than the price of the AFE. So the only one other thing I've ever done in the history of Alpha Femme experience that was not included was I did a snowball masterclass or a snowball event that I did at the end of last year. It was $22. People could buy tickets for it. It wasn't a part of the AFE. And in the end, every $22 ticket went to charity. So it was a incredible thing that we did. We all came together. Some people from AFE did it, some people didn't. That was the only thing that wasn't. So if things aren't included from time to time, there's usually a big picture reason behind that. But if not, what I really want is to bring us together so you don't have to think about, should I do this? Should I do this? Can I do this? This is like the greatest buffet on earth. It's not even about plugging into everything and needing to be in everything. It's like everything's available for you and you lean into every conversation that feels right and feels aligned for you. This bundle, because what it is, the Alpha Femme experience is a bundle. And the bundle is all of my programs, access to all of my programs for a year. The ones that run live, you get live. The ones that are pre-recorded, you get pre-recorded. If you pay in full, you can get access to the pre-recorded stuff faster. That's what we're doing this year. If you are paying in installments, then it's as we drop them. So first of all, it's not so overwhelming. And second of all, we never get into this weird thing where it's like, well, you had access to everything. So payment plans, because it's important, things come out paced. Is there a program or guidance to AFE, or is it lots of recordings that we feast on when we choose to? So in AFE, there's the programs that run live. There's the call I do every month, minimum one inside of the Alpha Femme experience group. And then on top of that, there's all the pre-recorded stuff that you can watch at your own leisure. And anytime there's a program that's lifetime access inside of AFE, it's also lifetime access for you. So like you do AFE, you get to keep Manifest forever. You get to keep Coach forever. The prosperity codes, all the little master classes, they're all yours forever. So you're not like having to watch everything in a year. Plug into what's live, plug into what has an expiration date, and the rest you can watch later as well. That works. So the idea with the Alpha Femme experience is that you're going to stretch your bandwidth. You're going to stretch your ability to hold time, energy, payments, boundaries. Everything gets stretched because a lot of people want to have bigger businesses, but they can't even hold the energy of being in a big room. How are you going to lead one if you can't find your place in one? It stretches your ability to say, okay, you know, I'm choosing this income every month or this income right now, and I'm putting it towards this. But then when that income comes back after a year or two, or however long you decide to do AFE, you've stretched enough space to hire a team member. You've stretched enough space to do all the things you're scared of. It's like it stretches the bandwidth for you to then have space after. It's like a balloon. We blow it up. And then when you're complete, it's left a space there for people to be in your world, for time to do things. You've disciplined yourself. Now you can put whatever you want in that space. So it's a great opportunity to stretch yourself in life, in wealth, in connections, in creation. It's an incredible place to be. I feel so much excited every time I hear about this. I know one day I'll be in AFE. I love that. I can't wait to manifest AFE. Since 2019, my time is coming. This is really one of those things though, you're going to know in your body, you're like, there's nothing else that makes more sense than this. If not, I have other great bundles. Like you can buy the Trademark one now that we're reopening at 10K, this incredible Valentine's Day one with Manifest and Femme Fatale. You can buy bundles. What I want you to understand about AFE is it's not a membership. We talked about boundaries. We talked about terms of agreement. Like for me, this is a very sacred space for me. We don't do the whole, I'll test it for 2 months, and if I can't pay it, I'm out. This is an important thing. And I want the people who join it to come in and be ready for it, because you're going to have a greater experience if you're all in and you're like, I am freaking doing this. This is so exciting. Yeah, I'm so excited. Kimberly, congratulations. So AFE is, I don't even know what the value would be if I were to like actually look, you're so excited. I love you. AFE, if I were to break down all the value of all the programs, I don't even know where we would be. I don't even know the price that it would be at if I took all the price of all the things and put it together. But the price right now is $18,888 for the full year. And if you pay in monthly installments, it's $1,888 a month. So you can pay one time upfront and then not think about the payments anymore and just indulge in the full year. Or if you're like, I know I can fit $1,888 a month, I'm going to do that. Then you can do that, and it's easier with the payment plan. When you do that, you get everything for a year, which is quite spectacular. And I'm very excited about the AFE and everything that's coming and the way it's being positioned and the way it's being created. It's an incredible thing. Now, there's a couple of important parts that I want to talk to you about. I have had some feedback about the Alpha Femme experience, about how people wish there was more time to get things done. And I have a special thing that I'm working on right now. Does the AFE start in a particular day? You can jump into AFE whenever you want, and you have 1 year. So it's a rolling year. And we've had people in Alpha Femme world do AFE for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years for multiple reasons. First of all, anytime there's an opportunity to plug into the live energy and learn something at a new level, it's like, yeah, I took it the 1 year, but what was my bandwidth on year 1? Let me do it again. Oh my gosh, I didn't even hear those things on year 2. You got more, I got more. Let's do it again. Okay, another year, you got more. Plus the participants keep up leveling their game. The network keeps getting better and better. So many people find their one-on-one coaches, they buy products, they buy services, they become joint ventures, business partners, do summits, podcasts from the Alpha Femme experience. And so it's just this incredible network. For a lot of people, it's like the price of just being in the Alpha Femme experience is paid by the network. It's like, I know for a fact when I'm surrounded by the right people and I can do podcasts and I've got the right people and I've got like so many people tell me the network pays for itself. It would be crazy for me to not be in the Alpha Femme experience. Just the people makes it, which is such an incredible thing. So the network is out of this world. The people are out of this world. These programs that I'm offering are always absolutely the best that I can every single time. And I bring my A game every single time. So I see a question here. When I purchase Femme Fatale, can I upgrade to AFE? Yes. And I love when people do that. If it feels like you're like, okay, I want to just make sure, because I don't know based on this one masterclass, if Melanie is my 1 year long mentor, I don't know, then do Femme Fatale and you can upgrade to AFE, zero problem. The only thing that's important to remember is that when you're doing this, if you do Femme Fatale and you want to join AFE later, you can't use your full amount once it's past the program live completion. So it's like once the last module is done, you have about 15 days to upgrade to AFE with your full amount. After that, it's the price of 1 month. So if you waited 4 months and you were like, oh, I think I'll do AFE, can I use my Femme Fatale credit? You can, but it would just count as 1 month and you'd shorten your AFE by a month. Okay. Would you have the option of putting a larger chunk down and then paying monthly? Yes. So this is why I love having the Alpha Femme team, because the Alpha Femme team can customize things for you. The most extended plan you can do for AFE is $18.88 a month. That's the most extended plan. But if you wanted a shorter plan, message them. They'll help you. They'll figure it out with you. They'll make you whatever link feels best for you. If you want to pay in 2 chunks, if you want to do, it doesn't matter. You can absolutely do that. Now, these are big containers. They require all of you. They require the badass to show up and actually do it. They require the goddess to not get in your head that you're not good enough and you don't belong. And they require the boss to monetize on everything I'm going to teach you to do. If you actually show up to this thing and be like, I'm going to do it, I can't even tell you what is available for you. The people in my world, they do things that don't make sense. It's like, it doesn't make sense. We're talking, there's people in the Alpha Femme experience that have become millionaires, 6-figure months. There's people who've had their first 10K months. They've paid for the entire thing back so fast. And for some, it takes a little longer and they leave and they're like, look, I didn't maybe get the financial growth, but this happened in my marriage. This happened in my health. This happened in this. I manifested everything that I prioritized. And I'm going to do another year because I want to focus on the boss energy. What you put into it will be exponentially more. But if you just buy it and then you never show up, it won't do that for you. So you've got to, I don't want you to just do this because you have the money to do it. I want you to do this because you've got the drive to do it. I'm going to give you everything of me for a year. Like I'm going to give you everything I've got. And if you're not available to receive it, it's going to go over your head. But if you're available to receive it, I can't even, the sky isn't even the limit for us. There's no limit. Like there's literally no limit. And that is the most wild feeling I've ever felt. But being in business this way, I tap into something I've never felt before. But all of us have to be part of it. The emotional intelligence, the being supported and held in a place, the badass and being willing to do what it takes, and coming all together as the boss energy. If it feels like you would need to get a little more information before you can say yes to something like this, I completely understand. And we will make sure that you can have, back and forth message conversations with the team. If it feels like you are really so sure it's right for you, but you've got some questions and you actually want to talk to somebody, I'll also make sure that you can do that because of this masterclass. I've never offered this before, but the type of intimacy we've had in this masterclass, I trust you that you won't just get on the phone with my team just to talk to them and to just, you're going to do it because it feels like you're close and you just want to have a discussion. And so if you are like, look, I really think I can do this, I would like to talk to someone first, I will make sure that someone can talk to you about that decision to make sure it's right for you. But this is like, don't get on the phone unless you actually want to do this. You know what I mean? Because my team won't sell you. They won't tell you why you should. They won't push you. So if you're hoping for a kick in the butt, that's not what you're going to get. You've got to lead yourself and they'll give you whatever information you want. But this is a customer experience, not a sales call. So if you're ready, you want information, we can absolutely do that for you. I'm binging AFE a lot. Melanie is in my radio in the car now, and I have moved so much, and self-led commitment showing up is paramount. This makes me so happy. Perfect, Monique. Will the Valentine's Day bundle also upgrade to the AFE? Yes, all bundles can upgrade to the AFE. And this is another part that I just want to leave with you here. I'm going to talk now about two very big offers to completely stretch your mind. I also don't normally do this on master classes, but I want to do it to show you what is possible out there. And then I'm also going to talk to you about something. If everything I've told you about feels like too much, I've got this incredible thing that I'm very excited as well that I can offer for you that's smaller with no commitment, so no stress. So I'm going to do this now. Okay. Let me just answer this one. What's the best package for someone who needs to get in their power, get strong on social media, selling their online coaching programs, and bring over $100,000 a month? I would do the AFE. Honestly, I would do the AFE because the AFE is everything. You would not lack anything at all. Like, that is the best thing, especially if what you're aiming for is $100,000 a month. I think I saw a month. $100,000 a month. If you're wanting to do $100,000 a month, at the very minimum, 1888 is the thing. So here's the thing. If you're going for $100,000 a month, but can't afford the AFE at the moment, then I would look at what's the actual amount that you're going for next, because $100,000 may not be the right conversation. If 1888 a month is too much, but your goal is 100,000, there's a very big gap there. So I would just look and say, okay, where am I now? What do I need to focus on now to get myself to the next level, and then the next level, and then the next level? There's no shame in building up. It's this huge, like, I need to go 0 to nothing at 100 miles an hour. Like, that's what gets us all feeling not enough sometimes. There's something incredible about the first 10K month, 20K month, 30K month, 40K month, 50K month. Like, oh my gosh, these things are huge. So I would focus on the coach program. I would do the coach program 100%. And that's 5,555. You'd be with me for 2 months. We'd really up the game in the coaching world. And then if you're able to do Trademark, then you would also have Impact Academy and the buyer. That would be a really great one. And that's 10K. So that's where I would go. All right. So here are the big offers in my mentorship space. So this is not coaching, it's mentorship. This means you've already got this in the bag. It's not really about learning anymore. It's about execution. You've got very particular questions and you're like, look, I've built $1 million brand already. I wish people would show up like this in my world, or multiple 6 figures, $600,000, $700,000 a year kind of thing. I wish I could have this kind of impact and influence. I wish I could lead something like this. I'd love to be able to talk about my offers, my branding. I'd love to be able to talk about my brand and bring it home for me. Like, I'm capable of doing this. This is exactly what I need to be doing. And I've got all the pieces in place. As my programs are there, I've got something going already. I wish I was surrounded by people, but if I'm the smartest person in the room everywhere I go, and I'm the richest one in the room everywhere I go, I also get bored. How do I get in a room where we get to talk and we get to really like get in the vibe together. Like I know what I'm doing. I want this energy with me. There's two ways. So there's my mastermind and my private coaching. Now, masterminds are different from private coaching. So you wouldn't join a mastermind because it's less than private coaching and think you can get private coaching because it's not the same. I do offer 4 one-on-one calls for us to connect and coach and mentor one-on-one. But the idea of the mastermind is that you're open to bring your expertise to the group and you're willing to receive from the other women as well. I am completely present in that space. I'm there 4 days a week and I check in often, but it's not just about me. It's about being in a space with other like-minded people at a higher level plus me. Like we are a group. That's the mastermind. It's $15,555 per month for 12 months. So it's a $175,000 container. But right now it's paid in full only, which means you've got to pay in full up front before you can join. You can pay per month for a year and join in a year if you want. You can do it in 3 chunks. You can do it in 1 payment, but the whole thing has to be paid in full before you can join. And we do this because we go for a year together and it doesn't work. And life happens where you get halfway through a commitment and then it's like, oh my gosh, I can't continue. But in a mastermind that close where you've got everyone together, it makes a huge difference when a person breaks their word. It's very detrimental to the group. So it's paid in full upfront, and it's really, I would say, millionaire status, or you've done 6-figure months before. That's if you're considering unity, the unity mastermind. And then private coaching. And private coaching is like, I don't have the bandwidth to hold relationships with a whole bunch of other women. When I want an answer, I want an answer now. I want to be able to Voxer you. I want a coaching call with you available like every week. I want hands-on, like I want to talk with you. That's what I want. And so I have 2 options for that. I have a 3-month package and a 1-year package. It comes out to $55,000 per month. If you do a 3-month package, it's $150,000 paid in full, I think, or 3 chunks of 55. I don't even know the logistics. I just know it's 55,000 a month. And then if you do a year, or no, it's just 55,000 a month. If it's the 3 months, it's 55,000 a month, and it has to be paid in full anyway before you start. And the 1-year package is $555,000, $500,000. What I want people to understand when I share this with you is that there is no offer that's good or bad. There is no offer that's too much or not enough. There is no such thing as overpricing or underpricing. There's just what the price is. And for me, when a woman comes into my world and is making $10 million a year, if she's not willing to spend $500,000 for me to hold as much stress in her business as she does, then I don't need to be doing that. She can figure it out. I know what it costs me energetically to have to hold things by myself. And I know the value I've had of having someone who understands business ahead of me hold it with me. And I understand why most very successful people don't have private coaching, because it's like you get on a roll with your own business, you figure out how to hold your own energy and to not be stressed. You finally figured out all your systems. Then you get this private client that's freaking out. It messes with everything. It's like it costs something to hold $1 million business. It costs something for me to hold mine, costs something for me to hold yours. So high level mentorship at this level, it is expensive, but by the time someone does private coaching with me, they've done 6-figure months multiple times, usually multiple 6-figure months, multiple times. Their goal is $10 million. We're scaling to 8 figures. They're playing at a game where it would be too easy to cancel a call with me. They're too busy. There's too much on the line. Everybody wants a piece of them. They've got a team to manage. They've got so many things. And I would be the last person, the last priority. And this has happened to me. Melanie, I'm so sorry. I've got this thing. I've got to cancel. At this price, they don't cancel. I'm a priority. We're a priority. It's a yes. We're both completely committed. And that feels good for me. So these are the higher end places that you can work with me in mentorship. But I make all of this, all the information that I help people scale multi-million-dollar companies. I bring this and I make it conversations that we can have, that we can land together and actually discuss and shape our understanding of things so we can grow. And these conversations, all my programs are built from the most potent life transforming conversations. The way I kind of feel in my world is like I'm an artist. And a lot of the times the raw paint, the raw canvas, the raw piece of art I just made, the one original, is created on a one-on-one call. It's created in my mastermind. And then I take it and I make these gorgeous copies and prints, and then they're available in the AFE and they're available in my programs. And you're able to buy these gorgeous prints to put in your house, but they're prints of an original. The original happens in these big containers. I'm constantly bringing you the highest level conversation, refining it, making it the greatest, most well-packaged I can make it and delivering it to you. So you're at the peak of the edge of the conversations always. So how you sit with yourself in this is you just ask yourself, what's your next move that would stretch you? That's how we grow. By the time you're comfortable doing something, usually it's the move you should have done then. Comfort doesn't create growth. It just creates maintenance. So if you love where you're at, you make the move that's comfortable, you'll create a beautiful maintenance in your life. And there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to maintain a certain standard, you keep making the moves you're comfortable with. If not, you say, what's my next move that stretches me? But remember, we're looking for intuition and discernment. So this means intuitively, I know this is what's good for me. And if it didn't work out, I'd be okay. Like, you're not putting yourself in any kind of financial danger. You're not doing something that's irresponsible for your family. You trust yourself. You're having the discernment to say, this would stretch me. This would scare me. This would mean I would have to do this. This would mean I would have to push this back. I would have to maybe, this would mean, oh my gosh, I'm putting a lot on the line. That's cool. That's going to grow you more than you could ever know. But don't put yourself in danger for this. There's just no point. I want you to be excited. I want you to be sharp. I want you to be on edge. I want you to be like, holy crap, what did I just do? That's a good feeling. But don't put yourself in danger. It's not worth it for anybody. Have discernment. Know what's right for you. It's the most important part of this. But when we choose our growth, we change. And no one else can choose it for us. No one else can will us to change. No one can force us to change. No one can push us or pull us to change. The only real lasting change that ever occurs in our life is the moment where we decide that we're doing it. It's your own trust and belief that you can make something happen that changes you. So how this works the best is when you sit with yourself and you say, how much do I believe in me? Like, what do I actually believe? And what's the big, bold, edgy thing for me to do here right now? What is it? And you make that move. And then you show up for it so that we can raise your self-esteem's credit score. But it's got to come from a real place. It doesn't matter where you start. Just start. So this next thing I'm going to tell you is the place where it's actually very accessible. And it's my hope that if you loved everything else I talked about and you're just like not there yet, this you'll be like, okay, Melanie, I'm starting here, because that's what this was intended for. It's the place where if you've been wanting to say yes to something and yes is just not possible, this is a possible yes. This one, my terms are very simple. You just respect me in the group. That's it. Just respect me in the group. Don't try to be sneaky and pushy or try to take from the people that are in the group with you. Just be kind. Just show up with compassion for other people and just come get what you came for. That's all I ask, because there are no terms with this next agreement. That means you could do it for a month and be complete and come back later. There's no terms. So you come, there's no refunds in my world. This is across the board and this is very important. Like, there's no refunds, but this one, if you're done after a month, you're done. You get to do 1 month at a time. This is the membership. And I love this membership, and it's going to get better and better and better. But this is called the Energetics and Emotions, the Evolution membership. And there's already so many extraordinary things that you can jump in and binge right now inside of there. There's the Renaissance Masterclass in there, the Finish Line Masterclass in there, the Energetics Masterclass in there, already hosted inside of the group. And it's $111 per month, $111 a month. That's it. And you can cancel it at any time. So you're in, you watch what's in there, you enjoy it, you want to stay. I keep adding stuff in there. It's great. One day you're done, no problem. One day you want to come back, you come back, no problem. But this is going to put you, yes, this is going to put you connected with people, getting in conversations with people, really connecting, really being in the room, really seeing, really all the things. There's going to be a live call in there with me every month as well. And how this all ties together is that Revolution and Midyear Manifesto, every month, the between the lines. So every month I show up and we do like a what worked, what didn't work, what am I going to do differently next month to keep yourself aligned and excited about your own progress and your word and celebrating your accomplishments every month. So it is going to build your emotional credit score. It's going to build your self-esteem. You're going to be able to connect with incredible people in there. You're going to get master classes added in there, like women, when it's over, when the group closes, it will be put in the membership. So you'll get to have access to that for a longer time. And what's on top of it more crazy is that whenever I launch a masterclass, or if ever you wanted to buy a little bridge masterclass, like I was talking about, you get to use that $111 every month. It's not compounded. You got to use it every month. But if you wanted, you can use it as a credit towards something else. So it's $111 and you can even spend it towards something else every month. So I've got things like the portal, that's $88. So you can use it to buy that. The final download, it's $111. You can just buy that. Prosperity codes that are $222. So you get to use your credit, use everything in the membership, and for only $100 buy a prosperity code. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger master classes, like $300 or $500, but you get that $111 off. And it's going to, that community is going to get really fun. My goal this year is to build this thing to be such an incredible thing. Last year, we just got it started like in October. And already I'm seeing how this is going to come together in the most extraordinary way. The calls every month are going to be really fun. There's a lot of fun things that are coming in there. And it feels like the perfect place to start making the time, the energy, practicing your belonging and getting ready for the bigger things that you want. This is a beautiful place. And so $111, and you can cancel at any time. If it feels like this is the only thing that you can do, it's worth every penny. The other thing I want to be doing in there, which I'm excited about, is opportunities to like markets. I want to have like a day of the week where everyone can market their offers and showcase their things. We're going to create a lot of networking opportunities inside of that group. Good things are coming, fun things are coming. This is included as part of the Alpha Femme experience. So when you're in AFE, you also get that, which means you get the monthly call with me in AFE and the monthly call with me in E3. This is an abundance. Why I create so much of this is very simple. I want you to be able to plug in live as much as you can. It's not so that you feel obliged to watch everything. It's so that you feel like you would never need to miss a thing. If you wanted to be there, you could be there. There will always be support. There will always be someone. There will always be something there for you to watch and to plug into. And that's what I'm really wanting to create. So because those are not part of the AFE, I'm going to leave that for now because we're going to be doing a launch for those in the next masterclass. So there's more information coming about that soon. And I don't want to overwhelm because this has been a lot of information. But here's what I hope for you. Oh, Kevin. Oh, yes. So one of the things I had mentioned for people who are in E3 who want to be watching this, there is a masterclass that I have been toying with reopening. And remember how I said manifestation equation is only available for AFE. And I've limited the amount of conversation that I hold around manifestation. And the reason for this is because I really think in hands that are not well intended, these are actually dangerous conversations. People misutilize this information and they do things that are not correct. So I don't want to be selling like magic. I want to be selling magic. And they're the same, but they're so different. One of them is like you honor the spells, and the other one is like, I'm going to get to just do whatever I want and get everything, you know, like it's such a different thing. So I've been toying with the releasing of this again, but I had promised it would relaunch. And during this masterclass has felt like if it's going to release, this is the energy to release it in. I feel like we're grounded and you guys are going to buy this for the right reasons, not the reasons that are the wrong reasons. But there is this one masterclass I did that took the world by freaking storm, and it was called Le Saut Quantique, basically the quantum leap masterclass. And I recorded that one and I said, it's a very limited time that I'm shutting it down and it will go for sale one day. And it was very short access. And I think it made it to like 10,000 participants watched it and we shut it down. People were like, no, reopen it. I want to rewatch it. When is it going to sell? What are we doing it? And so it's finally ready to be released. It's $555. If you are in E3, you get to use your credit towards it. So it would be $444 for you, and it's lifetime access. This is an incredible conversation about quantum leaps and about manifestation. Like, it's out of this world. And I want to make sure that the right people buy it. So I'm glad that I kept it till the end. So I knew all the people who are here have been listening to me this whole time. I care about my work very deeply. I give my whole life to this. This is like, I really take this stuff seriously. I love being a coach. I love being a mentor. I love refining these processes. I love being able to bring you things that change the way you operate in life. I love doing this work with people who use it for the right reasons. It is the purpose of my life. It is the joy of my life. And so I would love the opportunity to deepen this with you. Every single one of these offers are from the depths of my heart. They take everything. My entire team, my branding team, my marketing team, we all come together. We make it that it's the greatest thing for you that we can. And I hope that you've enjoyed this masterclass. I hope you're able to see the kind of care that we put in all the things that we do. And I feel like we have big things to do on this planet. Whether you have a brick and mortar business, whether you have an online business, whether you don't have a business at all, but you're ready to start rising into your power and find out what the bigger purpose is for you being on this planet. I want to have more conversations that help you find that. I want to help you go to the next level. I want to help you break through the glass ceiling that's been shown to us over and over again, so we can just revolutionize what's possible for all women. This is what I really want. How long will the Saut Quantique be open? It will be open. It's an evergreen, and it will be lifetime access. So all of you in AFE will now get access to that. Okay. Yes. So there will be an opportunity for a Alpha Femme experience on 2 years. Some of you have already done Alpha Femme experience for 1 year with me, and you've done that again and again. I have a few alumni. There will be an opportunity for AFE on 2 years. It will be a bigger offer. So it's a $33,333 offer, but it's going to unlock a lot of things. And so I will host a specific call for the 2-year AFE. What I love about the 2-year AFE is it would mean that you don't need to get all the programs in 1 year. You get 2 years. And there will be different perks about that. But I will be hosting a separate call for the 2-year AFE if you feel like that's perfect for me, because the price isn't the problem, the time is the problem. And I'm thinking about all these in a year and I'm like, there's no way. But if I'm thinking of like a 33K offer and there's something about that, I might be interested in that. So if that's something you're interested in, I'll be making a note about an opportunity for us to connect and talk about that. But that is a discussion I want to have more privately and not in such a big group, because we're going to kick it off in a very special way. So on this note, there's a few things I want to leave you with. You have built something, no matter where you're at in your business, in your life, you've built something that has taken you your entire life to build. And it is worthy of being listened to. It is worthy of being extremely compensated. It is worthy of you being so proud of it. It's worthy of evolving, and it's worthy of becoming everything you envisioned it to be. It's not because it's not where you wanted it to be yet that it's not good enough. You've already done extraordinary things. But it's time now that we create this environment where it's good to talk about our businesses and to feel like people care and want to be there and want to listen. And I hope that this Shop With Me maybe gave you permission, even in your world, to go and sit down with people and not rush your voice and not rush your speech and not rush your offers thinking people don't care, to take your time to talk to them about it, to not need them to necessarily buy right away, but to actually give them an opportunity to shop with you. People care about your offers. They care about your business. You're doing something good in this world. We don't need all the performance all the time, the bells and whistles all the time, but it's fun. You can do that. It can be great to do that. And there's so many fun strategies for marketing if you want to play, but not because your offers aren't good enough without them, no matter what it is that you're doing. My product line, my water bottles, my notebooks, all the things that I sell, they sell every day, whether I'm doing this grand thing with them or not. AFE sells whether I do a Shop With Me or not. These programs I offer, people are buying them every single day. And I would love to help you just love what you do, get paid every day, play with frequencies of marketing based on enjoyment, not based on need, to create a very strong platform for your business that you're proud of and that you don't apologize for. We've got a world to change. We've got businesses to run. We've got things to do. And I think that together we'll probably get there a lot faster. So if you've enjoyed this, I hope I have a chance to work with you in a paid container. It really is the honor of my life to do this kind of work. So if this is the end of our journey together, please stay connected with me. It is my, part of my work to create content everywhere. So I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram. Don't go too far. There'll be other masterclasses that'll come too, and I'll be happy to welcome you over and over and over again, no matter what, whether you decide to move forward with a paid offer or not. Thank you for being in my world. This will be open for 2 weeks, then the group will close. Everything will be uploaded to E3. If you know someone that really would do well with being in this masterclass, please invite them. It would be my pleasure for them to watch the content. And then in 2 weeks, the group will close. I might come in live a few times based on questions. If I see reoccurring questions with the Alpha Femme team, I might pop in and do a couple of live streams, but they won't be big deals. They'll just be me popping in for the next 2 weeks to answer your questions and all the things. Enjoy your month of February. Go be in love. We're the most alive when we're completely head over heels in love with our life and the people around us. So love as much as you can this February. I am so grateful for this time spent with you. And if you need anything, make sure you message us. Now that I'm hanging up, Alpha Team will be everywhere. So Melanie Ann Layer on Instagram, Alpha Femme on Instagram. We are Alpha Femme on Instagram. Melanie Ann Layer on Facebook, the Alpha Femme team on Facebook. hello@alphafemme.com, by email. We've got your back, LinkedIn, wherever you want. And thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. And I hope you have the most incredible day. I'll see you on the internet.